Is my screen visible and am I audible? Somebody please respond.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Vishnu. Right. So, this is being the last topic. So, we are going to discuss about working with CSV and JSON data. And of course, it's not so much, it is very simple, but definitely there will be one question of 5 marks or 8 marks from the previous question paper experience. I can certainly say this time also we may expect this. So, with this, let us start our today's discussion on working with CSV and JSON. Okay, so this document I think I have already shared with all of you. So last class we have discussed about PDF how to handle and Word file how to handle. Yeah, working with CSV files and JSON. So basically, CSV is nothing but comma separated variable files. So usually when you get the data as a data set, all the files, whatever you have as a data set, they are all in comma separated variable files. This CSV files are very much helpful in your future projects, like when you are processing some data analytics projects or AI related projects or data analytics, data visualization um, projects. So definitely CSV files you will be using, and that is one thing which is very important. And CSV files, when you write CSV files, I'll show you one example of a CSV file. It is there on my desktop. So program Python programs. So there are CSV files. You can see here e.csv. So I just edit it. So they are comma separated variable files. Spam, comma, eggs, comma, beacon, comma, ham, comma, hello world, comma, eggs, comma, bacon, comma, ham, comma, 1, comma, 2, comma, 3.14, comma, something 4. So it's a CSV file. And this CSV file, the good thing is they can be opened even using Microsoft Excel, or like a spreadsheet, it can open. So each comma separated value is stored in Excel cells. So that is one beauty of the CSV files. That's why CSV files are very much used. The second thing is JSON. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation, and it is also a plain text file. And usually, whenever you take services from internet, like I want to get weather report data or some information from internet and I want to use it, so like web scraping. um, so the data what you get from APIs, application program interface, it is in the form of JSON, JavaScript object notation. So this JSON will certainly have importance with respect to web applications. That's why these two are very important concepts related to today's class. And coming on to the CSV, in order to handle CSV, you need to use a CSV module. There is a module, a built-in module called CSV module. And usually the CSV, whatever we have seen in example.xls, you can write the same example.xls, where the transactions of various fruits and their quantities. So we have seen. So the same thing you can certainly observe here in this block. So it is written as a comma separated camera separated values written in each line. So this is I have stored in a file. So we will refer to the same file, example.csv file, and we'll try to process this and we'll try to work on this. And in order to work on this CSV files, we need to use the CSV module. There is a module called CSV module. There are various advantages of CSV files. They are very simple, will occupy less space, less memory, and more powerful. So, example, look at here. This is my first example. So reading CSV file objects. So import CSV, open example.csv, open the example.csv. You read entire file contents here. This is a file pointer, example file. And later, uh, example file object, from the file object, what you do, csv dot reader. So you will read the contents. You will read the contents whenever you use csv dot reader method. So the object, whatever the object contents are there, they are all translated into example reader object. So it is iterated over lines. So it contains a list of lines. So same thing, you can convert it into example data is converted into list of example reader. So print that. So it will be printed like a list of lists. So this is first line, this is second line, this is third line, fourth line, fifth line, sixth line, and seventh line, like this. You have various data stored in list of lists. So that is the concept here. And of course, certainly we can work on this program. So as soon as I run this, it will open my example.csv file and it will display. See, it is displaying the same thing. It is displaying the same thing. So as soon as I run, so it is displaying the same thing. Further, we can also work on each individual lines. So this is list of list. As we know, this is list of list. List, various lines are stored as list, and each element if you want to tackle. So example data of 0.00 is nothing but this, and 01 is nothing but apples, 02 is nothing but 73, 11 is nothing but this, and sorry, 11 is cherries, 61 is nothing but strawberries. So you can certainly display all those things. You can see here, it is, you can refer, you can access these example data by using two-dimensional indexes. So that is also possible. That is also possible in this case. You can see that it is also possible. You can write like this and you will get. So that is row comma column. You can certainly handle. Next, you can also use for loop to iterate all the data. So here what I have done is, same example I have taken, example.csv. It is an example file. It's a file object. .csv.reader, from the file object I'm storing into example reader. So what I do, I create a row in example reader, and each data I'm just getting it. So example reader dot line number is the line line number where it is iterating. So it is converted into a string, and later it is added to row hash. It is row number 1, number 2, row number 3, just like this. Apart from that, you add a space and you display string of row. So entire row you can get, so you can print it like this, you can certainly print it like this. So string of rows, you can certainly, this can be iterated like this. The same example you can see here, uh, we have iterated and we got the data. You can see here we got the data. So this is about the printing, iterating, and iterating through the reader object. Next, after this, we can also write some contents into the CSV file. We can create our own CSV file. So here I'm creating output.csv in write mode, and the new line character delimiter is equal to null. So that means what happens? So after every write, there will not be a default new line. So whatever the new line you give, so that will be automatically taken. So whatever the write it is having, it will automatically have a default new line. So here you create a writer object from the output file, and this is called output writer dot write row. So what is the row content that you are writing, you can certainly specify in the form of a list, and this line is written. Next, again, when you write row, you can write another file like this, and same way write row, another file, another list like this, another line like this, and finally output file dot close. You can certainly close, and like this you can create your own CSV file. So usually when you are working on the Internet of Things projects using Python, so what happens, some reading values from the sensors you need to write into a CSV file. So in that case, this kind of program, this kind of code is definitely going to help. So that is the thing. And let us run the same program here. As you run, so output.csv is created. You can see output.csv. So let us see the output.csv. Yeah, it is created here. So I just edit. You can see the same contents available. Same contents available. And you can directly open this. It will open in Excel also. The same contents are available. You can see here, same contents, whatever we have written. So it is written. It is written here, and it has been displayed. It has been displayed. It is displayed here like this. And uh, and further, when you move further into the topics, so the same delimiter, so you can also write the line terminator keyword also. So just to indicate you have a line terminator, so while writing you can override. So suppose I want to create a TSV file. TSV is another form of file where instead of comma there will be a tab separated variable file, tab separated value file. So in this case, uh, what do? You can overwrite the new line character as a delimiter. You can write the sorry, comma as a delimiter. You can overwrite with tab. You can see delimiter is equal to tab character, and a line terminator is equal to new line. So this is with respect to a writer object, and you write it as example.tsv tab separated variable file. And observe here you have given two new line characters. That means after every row is printed, so you will have one line extra gap is purposefully printed. So that is the thing. And you have the same thing, CSV writer dot write row to write the contents, CSV writer write row, you can certainly write the things, and finally you can close. You can see the same example. I run it, and once you open the example.tsv file, so sorry, the name of the file is example.tsv file. So you can see example.tsv file. Yes, there is a TSV file, tab separated variable file. You can see here. So I just open, so they are all tab separated, and there is one extra line is there. There is one extra line you are having. So this is the concept. This is the concept of the TSV file, tab separated variable file. And apart from this, apart from this, uh, that is only the thing that you have to understand. And TSV file is tab separated variable file. It's an extension file for tab separated variable value files. Next, we go to JSON. JSON, as I said, it's a JavaScript object notation. Usually, it is used to interact with websites, web servers. So here is one simple example. Look at here. It is opened with open curly braces and closed with closed curly braces, and you have value, key and value, key and value. It is just like your dictionaries. It is just like your dictionaries, and you can certainly display this. So value and the key and value, key and value, key and value. So it is just like this. It will be having. So usually when you request for some website, some data, so the data will be sent in this form, that is in JSON form. So you can see JSON is useful to know because many websites offer JSON contents as a way for programs to interact with the websites. So this is known as providing an application program interface, accessing an API. And of course, suppose if you want to get a weather report of a particular city, you will write some contents. You will get some contents from the website, and you want to write it on your dashboard. In that case, the website will certainly send the data in the form of JSON, so JavaScript object notation. So why it sends in the form of JSON? Because it is more secure. So nobody can certainly uh, tap or hack your data which is coming from the website. So that's the reason most of the websites, they use JavaScript object notation. As you know, JavaScript objects are more secure compared to anything. So if you want to get any data from Facebook, any data from Twitter, any data from Yahoo or Google or Wikipedia, Flickr, or any government websites, so any websites, so data will be, you are getting the data in the form of this uh, uh, files, this JSON files. So that is the concept that you have to understand. There is a concept that you have to understand when we talk about this particular idea. So JSON is so important. JSON is so important, and that's the same thing. I have just written it, and in order to handle JSON, you need to use JSON module, and you have very two important functions: JSON.loads and JSON.dumps. These are the two functions. So very important components. So what exactly JSON.loads does is it translates your JSON data coming from some website or coming from some internet source. It will convert it into the Java readable string. Java readable string. So it translates string containing JSON data into Python values. So that is the thing. JSON dumps the other way. It converts the JSON Python values into JSON values. So you can convert, you can make a JSON object with Python data using dumps, JSON.dumps. JSON.loads, from JSON you can convert that data into Python values. So that is the thing. So here is one simple variable I have taken. Just imagine some data is coming and it is it's a JSON value. This is the JSON value. It is stored in a string of JSON data. This is a variable. This is an object. In this object you have JSON data stored. Now how to process this? Very simple. You look at here. I import JSON. JSON the data as Python values is equal to JSON.loads string of JSON data. String of JSON data I have already stored. It is, just imagine you have this data coming from some website and you have stored in string of JSON data. So from string of JSON data, you are converting into JSON values, sorry, JSON Python values, and you are displaying. You are displaying. So that is a concept. That is a concept that you have to understand. That is a concept you have to understand. And finally, when you print it, so it will be printed in the same format. It will be printed in the same format. So look at here. I have some JSON data. I have stored here. It is not coming from any website. Just imagine the static data. I'm just JSON data. I'm storing in string of JSON data. I am loading into JSON values and later I am printing. When I load it into JSON values, Python values, JSON data as Python values, it is nothing but it is a dictionary. It's a dictionary. And it will be just like dictionary only. It is just like dictionary. And this dictionary, I'm just displaying. The other way is Python values. I have some Python values. This is some Python value. It is a dictionary. It's a dictionary. Python value is nothing but it's a dictionary. And from this dictionary, so what I'm trying to do is I'm converting this dictionary into a JSON. So for that, JSON.dumps, if you say, automatically the dictionary value, that is Python value, gets converted into JSON object. And this JSON object is like this. It is in the form of JSON value. So, and in internet, especially when you want to upload some data, when you want to get some data, transfer data, web services data, it is in the form of JSON only, JSON object, and you have to send this data in the form of JSON object. So you can collect the Python of values, and this Python values you can convert it into or compose into JSON data, and you can send it. So this is where the basics of JSON you have to understand. There are two functions, JSON.loads and JSON.dumps. Very, very important. It is only these two components. And there is one very important application of this JSON. So if I tell like this theories, you will not understand. Let me take one simple example. Let me take one simple example. So this is a program. This is a program where it will ask you city name. It will ask you some city name, and this city's weather report. It is getting it from api.openweathermap.org. This is a website that holds most of the major cities across the world. So what is the temperature? What is the humidity? What is the air flow? What is the you know air index? So this oxygen index. So air quality index. So that it will get. So for this, I have created an API key. API is application program interface key. I have just stored application. So any data, if you want to get it from a website, you have to supply API keys. So I have taken API. So first I have created a base URL. Along with this base URL, I'm adding uh, API keys, application ID, API key I'm adding, and the whatever the city name user inputs, that will be stored in city name, and the same thing it is given as a searching query city, and yes, I'm just storing it into URL. And you know very well, we have already worked with the request module. So with the request.get, from the URL, you get the data. So whatever the data that you are requesting from this particular website, it is stored in the form of an object response. If it is having some problem, it will raise an error. It will raise the error status. So you can see there the response, whatever, if there is no error, so automatically what happens, response.json, you are converting this response object into a JSON and you are storing into X. If X is equal to 404, 404 is an error. So 404 error means city not found. So you ask for some remote city which is not there in this particular website. This particular website will not have all the cities. It will have only selected cities, major cities across the globe. So some cities may not be there. So if city is not there, it will display 404. So that means city not found. So if there is this error, if there is no error like this, not equal to 404, so you can continue. You get the main contents of X. So X is nothing but it is the response JSON. From X, you get the main content and you store it into Y. So from Y, current temperature is equal to Y of temp. So you are getting the temperature value. You are getting the temperature value. Same way, Y of pressure. What is the pressure value that you are having in that particular city? Same way, Y of humidity and Y of weather. So what is the weather condition? So all these things you are getting all those values, and this weather report, it is in the form, it is stored into another variable. It's a list called Z, and Z of 0 is nothing but today's, Z of 1 is nothing but tomorrow, Z of 2 is nothing but day after tomorrow. So it is just like that. Z 0 dot description, the 0 of description is nothing but it will display the description. So now it is time to display all these extracted values. So temperature, current temperature, you are converting into string. Atmosphere pressure, so you are displaying humidity, current humidity you are displaying. Description of weather description, yes, you can do this if it is not equal to 404. In case if it is equal to 404, then city not found. So as an example, I've just entered Bengaluru. So it displayed, so today's temperature in Kelvin. So it is not in degree, it is Kelvin. So and what is the atmospheric pressure? It is something like this. Humidity is 60%. Description of the uh, weather is scattered cloud. So it is the same thing. So I run the same program. I just give uh, the city name Hong Kong. So just give Hong Kong. Hong Kong temperature is so and so, and its atmospheric pressure is so and so. It is 46 degrees, clear sky. You can see it is just like Mumbai. I can give Mumbai. So Mumbai value is so and so, 53%. It is always smoky, and I can certainly give Delhi. So Delhi mist, there is a misty weather. Humidity is 82%, and this is the temperature. So similarly, you can check with Srinagar. So Srinagar temperature, it is snow. It is full of snow. Humidity is 89%, and pressure is so and so. Temperature is as low as 273 Kelvinator. So this is the content. I can get it from the website in the form of JSON values, and from the JSON I can extract and display. So this is today's. Suppose if I enter the same contents for tomorrow. So description of one is nothing but tomorrow's report. So I can certainly copy this same content. So sorry, I can copy this content, description of 0, and weather description 1, so that is for tomorrow. So you can certainly write the descriptions like this. So you can certainly write the description for tomorrow. You can certainly write like this, description for tomorrow. So that's tomorrow. Description tomorrow, you can certainly write description 1. So for day after tomorrow, also you can write the description like this. So when you run, sorry, uh, yeah, this I forgot to write one plus here. Yeah, you can see it is asking for, so I give Bengaluru. So it is not recognizing. So tomorrow and day after tomorrow, there is no data. So it is recognizing only today's data. So in some cities, you get tomorrow's data also in the form of Z of 1 of description. So uh, it is required. It is required. So you can see, so Bengaluru. So you are getting this data. So similarly, you can give any city name. You will get the atmospheric pressure and all those things. So it is in the form of JSON data. So that's all for today's class. So to end today's session, we have discussed what is CSV, how to read CSV file, how to write CSV file, and what is JSON, what are the two methods of JSON. One is loads, another one is dumps, and the real application of JSON, real-time application of JSON. I have just demonstrated this, and obviously that's about the syllabus for your Python programming. Hope I have done my level best. So thank you for being a wonderful audience throughout the semester, and even for I took. So if you have any doubts, you can certainly ask. If no, thank you. So kindly type in your, yeah, thank you Abhishek and Adnan. Type in your USN in the chat box, and you can leave the meeting. And do well for tomorrow's preparatory exam. Thank you.